Welcome to Self-Care Tips. I am Irene Joroge, and today we're going to talk about why every woman needs a dera in her wardrobe. A dera is a simple dress that is made of cotton and usually has all sorts of colorful patterns combined with a scarf. It is very important to have this dress in your wardrobe, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, you can wear it anywhere. It will never let you down. If you combine it with a scarf, it creates modesty. You can wear it to church, you can wear it to offices, you can wear it to any kind of function that you have. It is acceptable. It has become a nice, common Kenyan dress that is decent and modest and widely accepted. It suits every person of every age. Whether you're 15 years old or whether you're 70 years old, a dera will always look great. Another thing, it flatters every body shape, and at the same time, it's a kind of thing that you don't have to worry about anything in your wardrobe. You can have several of them, and you can mix and match with any kind of scarf you want. You can wear it anyhow you want. It will never let you down, even when you go to places that are conservative about clothes, where you can't wear trousers, where you can't wear even dresses or skirts. Just slip into your nice dera and you will always fit in. It's a Kenyan outfit that suits every woman, and you need it in your wardrobe. I am Irene Joroge with Self-Care Tips.
Machozi yako ya mamba mimi hayanihurumishi hata kidogo.
Nakuuliza swali, umetoka wapi?
Mimi si mtoto mdogo.
Mbona haujamrudisha Lea kwenye mwili wake?
Mtu anapumzika kishiba, wewe uko hapa wagaga na njaa. What for?
Hujui ile hali nilopata na babangu.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email newsroom@kbc.co.ke, call 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124.
It's Monday, the 1st of November 2021. Good evening. My name is Mboya, and this is KBC Prime Edition.
Welcome to a very comprehensive bulletin that has all the day's events as they happened here in Kenya and around the world. My name is Purity Museo.
Topping this live broadcast.
Niko na uchungu, ukate mtoto wa mtu hivyo. Hey, amefanya kitendo mbao sijawahi kuona, kukata mikono.
Ugly face of domestic violence. Man chops wife's hands.
Party loyalty. Jubilee to clean house in National Delegates Conference.
Sweeping wave. Unrest in schools causing concern. Thank you all for joining us and a very warm welcome.
At KBC Channel 1 News, at Purity_Museo, at Mboya24, the hashtag to use is Prime Edition. Susan Thuku is our sign language interpreter tonight.
We begin with a disturbing item. A 22-year-old woman from Burindu area, that is in Butula in Busia County, is nursing serious injuries at the Busia Referral Hospital after her estranged husband chopped off both her hands.
The suspect is still at large, with the family now demanding justice for their kin. Safina Cheng reports.
Busia Referral Hospital. A 22-year-old woman, writhing in pain, fighting for her life, after she was allegedly attacked by her estranged husband, who chopped off her hands.
Nilipata mtoto wangu akiwa chini. Nilienda nikidhani ya kwamba ameshaaga. Lakini nilimpata huwa naona, lakini fahamu imepotea. Mkono imekatwa, umeanguka huko. Mkono ingine umekatwa mara mbili, ikakatika, lakini ngozi ikashika tu.
Mtoto wa mtu hivyo. Amefanya kitendo mbao sijawahi kuona, kukata mikono na ianguke chini, ukate mapacha, ukate mkono hii mara mbili mara tatu. Hapana, nimeona mchungu baba.
The family left questioning the motive behind the heinous attack after Janet had left her matrimonial home a few days ago because of domestic wrangles.
Kwa hizo mizozo zote nimekuwa nikihusika kuzuluhisha. Kisasa jana nikapigiwa simu, huyu amemkata. Nikawaeleza kuliko kupiga nduru, mfanye bidii mlete hospitali, alafu tuone chenye tunakuwa tunafuatilia.
The police have launched a manhunt for the suspect, who is still at large, with the victim's family demanding for justice.
Atafutwe, aniambie kiini kosa kubwa ambao mtoto wangu alikosa, akuja mfanyie kitendo kama hiko.
Na sisi tulikuwa tunaomba serikali na polisi kwa jumla, huyu mtu akonran na anaweza rudi kufanya mambo madhara kwa hiyo boma. Hata wale watoto wenye wamebaki wako hatarini.
The incident coming days before the commencement of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, with calls to end the surge in such vices reverberating. Reporting for Prime Edition, I'm Safin Acheng Ouma.
Let's now shift gears and move into the world of politics. And the Jubilee Party will convene a national delegates conference at the end of this month, with party delegates expected to make far-reaching changes.
The National Executive Committee, bringing together Jubilee Party's Secretariat and the parliamentary leadership, met Monday to firm up strategies for the upcoming meeting.
The Jubilee Party will convene a national delegates conference at the end of the month to deliberate on strategies to boost the party's outlook ahead of next year's general election.
We really wanted to have the elections in 2020. We were ready, we were prepared. Indeed, we were only delayed by the requirements that were made to us by the Register of Political Parties. This being a very litigious country, if we did it without adhering to the requirements of the Register of Political Parties, then those elections would be declared null and void.
The party is yet to draw the agenda of a pending NDC, even as the Secretary General Raphael Tuju downplayed differences in the party, exuding confidence that he would steer the party into the 2022 general election.
I would be extremely worried if I didn't have critics. I would be extremely worried if we went into the office upstairs and we didn't have robust debates. That is what democracy is all about. And I can tell you that as we were in the offices upstairs, we did not agree on every subject which was put on the table for discussion and for debate. That is in the Constitution. That is actually in the Constitution. I think it should just concern you as much as it should concern
And I'm sure it concerns all the delegates.
I'm sure it concerns you.
Tuju has also revealed that the much-touted pre-election coalition between the Jubilee Party and the Raila Odinga-led ODM is at an advanced stage, with both party leaders already engaging on the modalities of a coalition.
Our discussions with the ODM are ongoing. There are discussions which have been done at our level, and there are discussions which are done at the level of the two party leaders. It is beyond my pay grade to divulge to you anything which has come up at the level of the two party leaders.
John Jacob Curia, Prime Edition.
Let's stay with politics. MPs allied to Deputy President Dr. William Ruto are asking Kenyans to participate in the democratic process of electing their leaders. Speaking when they hosted Deputy President in Nyamira County, the leaders said the decision on who becomes Kenya's next president lies with the voters. Kevin Washira reports.
Deputy President William Ruto and his allies took their campaigns to Nyamira County, where 2022 succession politics dominated proceedings. MPs allied to Ruto speaking against imposing leaders, saying Kenyans should decide who becomes the next president.
Kenyans must be left free to elect democratically the president of their choice. Wakenya wataruhusu presidential puppets to be imposed on us as the next president.
Maneno ya kuimpose leaders kwa hii country imepita na wakati. Sisi tunataka kiongozi ambaye tutamchagua wenyewe na tutachunga kura.
In a thinly veiled onslaught on the looming coalition between the Jubilee Party and ODM Party, the MP said an imposed leader would not be keen on solving problems facing the people.
Mimi nataka kumuomba rais pia, kwa sababu tunamheshimu, aweze kupatia nafasi wa Kenya wajichagulie rais wao. Yeye ni mwananchi, akona kura moja kama wengine, aweze kupatia nafasi wengine wafanye uchaguzi.
The deputy president appealed to the youth to register as voters and elect a leader who will address their needs, including unemployment.
Kila kijana achukue kura yake na upange vizuri ili uweze kuchagua serikali ya mwaka ujao. Na ukienda kuchagua serikali ya mwaka ujao, serikali ya mwaka ujao chagua yenye iko na mpango ya maslahi ya wewe upate ajira. Usichague serikali ambayo inapanga mambo ya rege na mambo ya kubadilisha katiba ya viongozi kugawana mamlaka.
The deputy president asked his competitors to fold tribal political parties and form a national party that will have the interest of all Kenyans at heart. Kevin Washira, Prime Edition.
Let's move away from the world of politics. Buruburu Girls, right here in capital city Nairobi, and Liten High School in Kericho County have been closed indefinitely. Buruburu has been shut a day after the fire incident, you remember, that left scores of students nursing injuries. Liten High School has been closed after students went on the rampage over unresolved issues with the school's management. And as Zainab Said reports, head teachers have now been directed to tame all forms of indiscipline to avert yet another euphoric spate of school unrests.
It was a sign of relief for parents with students at Buruburu Girls Secondary School that caught fire Sunday evening after they were allowed to come in and pick their daughters.
Kwanza tukachukua wanafunzi wetu waweze kumanage ile shock, alafu tutaitwa mkutano na tutaambiwa ni lini watarudi. Hata sasa hatujui ni lini watarudi, ili kwanza waweze kupata afueni, kisha tuweze kurudi na kuzungumza na kuingia kwa kina kwa ajili ya mambo ambayo yameweza kutokea.
According to the management, Buruburu Girls has been closed for few days to allow for investigations into the fire incident.
But I want to tell you, dear parents, right now we are worried about one thing: the insecurity that has already come into the school. Because we have already encountered very many young people, drunk people. Yes, they are here. I can assure you they are here. And we also don't know who is who. And that is why we are appealing to you parents. You are our parents, please. Cooperate with us.
So far, 19 girls are still admitted at the Metropolitan Hospital, while 16 others are at Jamaa Hospital. In Kericho County, Liten High School has also been closed after students went on rampage on Sunday night protesting against the school management. The rampage left window panels shattered, among other damages. In Murang'a County, 9 schools have reported strikes. The County Commissioner Frederick Nduga calling on school heads to monitor and report any case of indiscipline.
Kama ni kufukuza mwanafunzi kuna vile kanuni zinasema. Kama ni kumnidhamisha mwanafunzi yeyote kwa njia yeyote, kuna kanuni vile zinasema. Na tufuate hizo kanuni. Na wale wanafunzi ambao tayari wameonekana waziwazi ni wakorofi, tutawachukulia hatua madhubuti.
Directing all schools administration to install CCTV cameras in their schools, Dunga also observed that drug abuse among some students is contributing to unrest and destruction of school properties.
Moving on, the Court of Appeal has suspended a High Court ruling that directed President Uhuru Kenyatta to appoint 6 judges whose names he expunged from the list of 41 forwarded to him by the Judicial Service Commission. The High Court had given the President 14 days to make the appointments of the judges be deemed to have been formally employed after the lapse of the grace period. The President, through the State Law Office, in appealing the ruling, had argued that such a move would create a constitutional crisis. Sarafina Robi tells us more.
With barely 3 days remaining to the lapse of the 14 days issued by the High Court to President Uhuru Kenyatta to appoint the remaining 6 judges, the Court of Appeal has temporarily stayed the ruling. The High Court had ruled that if the President had failed to appoint the 6 judges within 14 days, it shall be presumed that his power has expired and his office becomes functus, and the remaining 6 judges shall be deemed duly appointed. Through their lawyers, President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Attorney General argue that if the ruling came to effect, it will spiral into a constitutional crisis and might create a conflict between the Chief Justice and the office of the President. Justice Roslyn Mboya, Justice Leibuta and Justice Wanjiru Karanja have now directed the ruling be suspended up to the 19th of November when they will give their final ruling. Meanwhile, a senior citizen, Shaun Ahmed Nurani, has filed a petition seeking for the removal of the DPP.
The reason why Mr. Nurdin Haji has refused to take any criminal step or to take any action against Mr. Ratilal is because of the relationship between one of his former colleagues or directors or deputy directors and himself.
We shall be moving to the Director of Criminal Investigation to record statements, and we shall expect the Director of Public Prosecution to summon one Nurdin Haji, not as the DPP, but as the person who made the utterances threatening people, threatening my client and everybody else, that he himself is a war veteran.
In the petition, Nuran argues that the DPP should be removed on the grounds of misconduct, impunity, partiality, favoritism, improper motives and corrupt practices, abuse of office, discrimination, disregard, among others. For Prime Edition, I'm Serafina Robbie.
On to the ongoing registration by IEBC, and all eligible Kenyans have till Tuesday in the evening to take advantage of the ongoing mass voter registration exercise. So far, only 1.1 million Kenyans have registered as voters against a target of 4.5 million.
The mass voter registration exercise comes to an end on Tuesday, though the enlisting will continue at their constituency level. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission appears unlikely to meet the 4.5 million target it had envisaged to achieve in the mass voter registration exercise. Some 1.2 million Kenyans have enlisted themselves as voters, though the rallying call has been that IEBC ought to extend the mass registration period.
Kwa sasa tunaona idadi iko chini bado, na tunaomba serikali kwamba hiyo muda ambayo umetupea ni kidogo sana, so tunaomba serikali itusaidie muda kidogo, wasongeshe hiyo muda ili tupate vijana wajiandikishe na kila mtu yule ambaye ajiandikisha kama mpigaji kura.
Leaders have urged all eligible Kenyans to enlist as voters.
Tejire tuko naye ni vijana wetu watokee, na hiyo mambo alikuwa naye rohoni waachane naye, tuchukue kura ndio hesabu yetu ikuage mingi vile inakuaga kawaida.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has however maintained that the voter registration exercise, which is set to end on November 2nd, will not be extended. Jacqueline Masharia for Prime Edition.
That report brings us to our first break right here on KBC Prime Edition.
And we still have plenty more coming up. Stay with us.
Ukifuata mambo ya makendo utapotea. Sisemi, nikisema hivi nasema kwa Kenya nzima, sisemi watu wa Kirinyaga peke yao, kwa sababu mtu anaweza kusema pengine watu wa Kirinyaga wanafanya hayo. La, nasema kwa watu wa Kenya. Serikali tunayoiongoza lazima ionekane kwamba wananchi wanafurahia na kwamba wananchi wako katika uhuru wa kutembea huko na huko, kufanya biashara zao za halali, hapana biashara zile za magendo.
To get Jeremiah 29:11 as your skiza tune, dial *811*397#.
Jeremiah 29 verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future.
To get Jeremiah 29:11 as your skiza tune, dial *811*397#. *811*397#.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
This is Prime Edition. Thank you so much for staying with us. The COVID-19 positivity rate is now down to 0.8% after 29 people tested positive for the disease from a sample size of 3,014 screened in the last 24 hours. Total confirmed positive cases are now 253,339 and cumulative tests so far conducted are 2.7 million. According to data from the Ministry of Health, no deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours. As of Sunday, October 31st, slightly over 5.3 million vaccines had been administered across the country. Meanwhile, statistics from the Johns Hopkins University indicate that over 246.5 million people have tested positive, while more than 4.99 million others have died. In other news, Interior and Coordination of National Government Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i and his Principal Secretary Karanja Kebicho have dismissed criticism over their alleged involvement in politics. Speaking during an inspection of government projects in Kiambu County, Matiang'i said he is focused on ensuring the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission conduct the next general election in a secure environment.
Interior and Coordination of National Government Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i was accompanied by his Principal Secretary Karanja Kebicho in an inspection tour of government projects in Limuru area of Kiambu County. Key among the projects was the groundbreaking for construction of Limuru Sub-County's offices and establishment of a police post in Mboya. The occasion was, however, punctuated with political undertones in apparent reference to the criticism of cabinet officials accused of engaging in politics. Matiang'i and Kebicho, however, say the criticisms will not distract them from discharging their mandates.
Siri unajua mahali tunaenda. Usianze kukua distracted. Nimeanza kusikia busy bodies. Watu hawana kazi, watu hawana accountability ya hii nchi. Wakianza kukusumbua. Sijui unafanya nini. Mimi nataka kuomba hivi ukiwa my boss. Busy bodies tuachane nao. Sisi kazi yetu ni kufanyia hawa watu kazi, kuensure hawa watu wako na security.
Wakuu wa usalama, tusitishwe and don't be intimidated at all na porojo hii ya huko na huko, porojo tu, watu wanaendelea huko. Hata 2017 mulisikia wengine hata wakisema eti unajua eti hata yule mzee wetu head of public service Mr. Kinyo who can't even hata fly eti ameenda mikutano usiku sijui na nani. Porojo hii tumezoea, hii inaletwa wakati wa uchaguzi. Kila mtu wako na uhuru kufanya kampeni. Kazi yetu sisi ni kuweka usalama.
They said measures had been put in place to ensure peace in the country during the electioneering period with special focus on women candidates.
Wakati mwingine akina mama wanasumbuliwa. They are harassed by people or terrorized here and there. This time round, we are going to pay special attention to women participants and women participation in the electoral process.
Well, moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta has said that Kenya will champion Africans' interest on climate change. Making the remarks in Glasgow, Scotland at the Climate Change Conference, President Uhuru Kenyatta told world leaders to implement bold mitigation measures to avert a looming crisis.
We recognize that climate change is escalating and complicating new and old conflicts throughout the world. The evidence, ladies and gentlemen, is irrefutable. All the reports, including the most recent Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, sounded an alarm bell that the world risks facing a global catastrophe unless leaders shift gear on climate change. We need to urgently implement bold mitigation and adaptation measures to avert the looming crisis. It is the least that we can do to bequeath a peaceful and sustainable planet to future generations. Climate change poses an existential threat to Kenya and to most countries in the African continent. In Kenya, extreme weather events, including floods and droughts, lead to losses of between 3 and 5% of our GDP annually. Further, they aggravate food insecurity and trigger divisive intra-community and inter-country competition for resources.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa has underscored Kenya's commitment to ongoing peace efforts in Africa. The CS, however, said the threat of terrorism still remains a challenge alongside the impact of climate change that has continued to amplify conflict.
Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa on Monday led the Kenyan delegation in opening the 12th high-level retreat on the promotion of peace, security and stability in Africa. The retreat brings together African Union envoys led by Chairperson of the African Union Commission Musa Faki Mahamat, as well as Olusegun Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, among others. The defense CS underscoring the need for African countries to collaborate in finding a long-lasting solution to ensure sustainable peace through dialogue.
Kenya has been deeply involved in many of these efforts, including preventive diplomacy, peacekeeping, conflict resolution, post-conflict reconstruction, particularly in the Horn of Africa, in the Great Lakes region, and across the length and breadth of Africa.
Wamalo said that despite the achievements made so far in attaining peace and stability, Africa was still vulnerable due to the threat of terrorism and violent extremism, hence the need to deploy sustainable solutions that are Africa-inspired and led.
The main drivers of future conflict and violence will be youthful populations, deprived of education, gainful employment, and political voice. Unless we act now, the new normal will be decades of long conflicts with massive impacts on all aspects of our lives.
Years and years from the days of the OAU to the AU, the African Union is standing out to do one thing very well. It is to promote better and enhance and re-energize what we call early warning, conflict prevention and mediation.
The CS noting that Kenya would continue to use its position in the United Nations Security Council to champion for the needs of Africa. Nancy Okwari, Prime Edition.
A section of residents of Miwani area in Muhoroni constituency in Kisumu County has maintained that they won't let go of the Miwani nucleus estate that has been the subject of dispute for a very long time. The community, led by Area Member of Parliament James Oyo, has implored the government to lease the 10,000 acres of parcel to an investor who can resuscitate the now dysfunctional Miwani factory or return the land to its original owners. Wycliffe Okech with the story.
The Miwani Nucleus Estate has been the subject of protracted court cases for nearly 3 decades now. In the latest suit, the Environment and Land Court in Kisumu ruled that the 10,000 acres parcel belonged to a private company in the name of Crossley Holdings. However, members drawn from the Kamagaga, Kabar, Sidho and Wangaya communities in Muhoroni constituency, Kisumu County, have vowed to retain possession of the land using every means available.
On behalf of these communities, we strongly say that the land of Miwani Sugar Factory belongs to them, and they are ready to make a sacrifice to it.
Watu ya Nandi na watu ya Kisumu County wenye tunaishi hapa Miwani, hatutakubali kamwe shamba letu inyakuliwe na corruptors.
Led by Area Member of Parliament James Onyango Oyo, the irate Miwani residents claimed that there was a group of local leaders out to benefit from the sale of the land at the expense of original owners.
I will continue representing the interest of my electors regardless of what is ahead. And they have empowered me to ensure that we appeal the erroneous judgment that was delivered by one Justice Mboya. And I've informed them that already you have taken relevant measures.
I want to make an appeal, and a strong one, to our Honorable Justice Martha Koome, that the case of this land be looked at afresh so that justice can be done for the community.
The residents, who are by extension the sugarcane farmers for the now dysfunctional Miwani Sugar Factory, want the government to bring an investor to resuscitate the company or return the land to its original owners.
In the absence of the investor, let this land be taken back to the owners who gave it to the company that has, to those who invested here, those who have been working here, in order to ensure that the people around here get their meals, they take their children to school, and also realize their dreams in as far as development is concerned.
From Kisumu, Laikipia Governor Nderitu Muriithi has called on the Kenyan and UK governments to hasten the prosecution of a British soldier suspected to be behind the murder of a Kenyan woman in Nanyuki 9 years ago. The governor says the soldier cannot be allowed to get away with the murder just because of an agreement between the two governments that one cannot be prosecuted locally. These and other stories in our county news roundup.
Wanjiru is said to have been murdered at Lions Court Hotel in Nanyuki while in the company of soldiers from the British Army Training Unit, Kenya. The governor said that the case has been dragged with the purported intention to cover up.
The Inspector General of Police has released a statement just a short while ago reiterating commitment by the National Police Service to get to the bottom of the murder of Agnes Wanjiru going back years ago.
Elsewhere, politicians and Maasai leaders have been streaming into Loita Ward in Narok South Sub-County for the ceremony of Meshuki Age set at the Entasikira Emanyata.
Tukikuja kusherehekea mila yetu kwa njia nzuri na tutazingatia mambo yote ambayo inahitajika kisheria na hata kwa mila yetu ni mzuri.
Elsewhere, authorities in Nyahururu sub-county have impounded and destroyed more than 5,000 liters of illicit brew at Maina village on the outskirts of Nyahururu town. Area Senior Chief Joseph Moraya said his team was tipped last night that the brewer had relocated to the area, prompting the raid.
Tulifika kwa hiyo area ambayo ni Judea, iko Maina sub-location, na tukapata more than 20 drums ambayo ni 200 liters, ilikuwa na over 1,000 liters of kagara, na tumedestroy hiyo pombe yote, hizo materials.
Finally, Bungoma County Commissioner Samuel Kimiti has urged constructors to apply for tenders for the construction of classrooms in the region.
To use the local contractors so that one, they can benefit from business from government, and two, it is a mitigation against COVID, because you know how the COVID disease has impacted negatively to the people.
President Uhuru Kenyatta, in his Mashujaa message, directed the Ministry of Education to construct 10,000 classrooms to accommodate learners under the new education curriculum.
Well, that report brings us to our second break on KBC Prime Edition.
Karon Jenga is on standby with the day's business that will be coming your way after this short commercial break. Stay with us. Hi, Tom.
Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, announces the recruitment of General Service Officers, GSO Cadets, Specialist Officers, General Duty Recruits, Tradesmen and Women, and Constables scheduled for the month of November 2021. Listen to Radio Taifa during the entire month of November 2021 for details of the recruitment process. Then grab your local newspaper, The Daily Nation, on the 31st of October and 7th of November, The Star on the 5th of November, while The Standard will have those details on the 27th of October, 14th of November, and 9th of November on MyGov inside this Standard newspaper. The People's Daily on the 8th of November and 12th of November. Remember, no one can influence the recruitment process because bribery and other acts of corruption are against the law. Report any suspicious activities or characters to the nearest police station or military camp, or call hotline numbers 0726419709 or 01203000599. KDF recruitment is absolutely free to all.
my soul up on this beat, put my life on the edge. So take this knowledge that I spit and keep it right in your head.
I am having a multi-talented artist.
Cause you're one of a kind, one hard to find, but you never know, you always cross my mind.
Finally umeniita kwa hii show.
Finally you're on this show.
Defenders Coalition event was held at the Allianz Francaise, Nairobi, as rather an obvious choice for some.
See, for me, the people you're celebrating today are the people who have fought for the freedoms of this country.
Somebody call the liar, shine your head, it's a crown. Don't let nobody ever put you down.
We're used to him just being, up even behind the scenes akicheza guitar. Now guess what? He can actually sing.
Jumbura girl, loved a Nile boy. She taught him how to make my talking.
Put my soul up on this beat, put my life on the edge. So take this knowledge that I spit and keep it right in your head. If you committed to your craft, stop living in your past.
Welcome back. We now take you through today's business news. My name is Carol Jinger. Now, the government plans to commission the entire Dongokundu bypass by mid-2023. Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia has said the contractors working on the project have mobilized more resources to complete the project by May 2023. The Transport CS says the Kimbundani to Mwache stretch will be completed by March 2022, and it is currently 80% complete.
The Dongokundu bypass is a critical artery that seeks to reduce traffic time between the north and south coast. The 11-kilometer phase 1 from Miritini to Kipevu was commissioned in 2018 at a cost of 11 billion shillings, while phase 2 and 3 are currently ongoing. Phase 2, which starts at Kibundani to Mteza, is 9 kilometer and 80% complete, with the project expected to be commissioned in March 2022, while Lot 3 is at 38% completion stage. The government says the last 2 phases of the projects should be completed by December 2023, 12 months ahead of schedule. Phase 3 involves the construction of an interchange at the Likoni-Lungalunga Highway and the erection of 2 bridges, one at Mwache spanning 660 meters and another at Mteza spreading 1,440 meters.
You can see it's a very complex project, and that's why it's taking longer. You may ask how come Nairobi Expressway is moving so fast compared to this one. This one you can see it's in the sea. So this piles has to be put down so many meters into the sea. That's why it takes much longer. But I've been assured that by May it will be finished. And that's the most important thing. Because people across there now, they will be feeling they are part of this side of the North Coast. And that's very, very important.
Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia says by April 2022, the Kenya National Highway Authority is expected to have finalized the construction of the Changamwe interchange as well as the 4 billion shillings Makupa Bridge. The government is further expected to spend 12 billion shillings to revamp the Mtwapa Bridge and the Nyali-Kilifi dual carriageway.
We feel proud about what this government has achieved. We are proud what President Kenyatta has achieved, because this was his vision, to make sure that we made the coast a totally different economic block. As we are doing development in elsewhere, Mombasa was given top priority, and the entire coast region.
The Transport Cabinet Secretary was touring various development projects at the coast. Juni Karisa Mbele from Mombasa County.
Now, investors have been urged to expand their operations in the regional markets to boost their regional presence. Trade and Industrialization Cabinet Secretary Betty Maina says there is a market for farmers and manufacturers that is ready for business expansion, especially in markets such as the Democratic Republic of Congo. Kenya is expected to send a strong business delegation to Congo DRC to explore business opportunities as the two countries seek to deepen trade ties.
According to the Ministry of Trade and Industrialization, DR Congo is the 6th largest importer of Kenyan products such as agro-processed goods, fuels, clinker, among other manufactured products. The government says the market is however underutilized and that there is need for local companies to start taking advantage of government business facilitation in the East African region.
In terms of the opportunities, they are beyond count. The imminent entry of DR Congo into the EAC market is something that we should all aspire to.
We will want to make sure and we will want to encourage the Kenyan businesses to identify the best location for the interest of their business. And working with our colleagues in Equity Bank, we actually hope we can identify potential partners.
The Trade CS was speaking during an announcement of strategic efforts to deepen trade relations between Kenya and the DRC through a 14-day trade mission to the country between the 29th of November to the 13th of December 2021.
When we say 200, somebody expects that we are paying for 200. No, you're paying for you're paying your way, because it is for your business. So really we expect that this will be funded by the companies themselves. All we are offering is the facilitation of government in transporting us together.
Top on investors' concern in Congo is the ongoing civil strife that has affected the mineral-rich country since 2010.
It's true there are some hotspots of insecurity where you hear of the rebels, but these are normally in isolated rural areas in bushes.
When you look at it, and it's a very urbanized population, it's not like Kenya. So when you look at the opportunity, it is, would not have been buying a second bank if security was a huge concern.
The trade mission announced today hopes to attract 200 businesses who are willing to tour the DRC for opportunities across that country, with Equity Bank through its subsidiary Equity BCDC pledging a 500 billion shillings credit fund to enable businesses that find viable opportunities in the DRC to set up shop.
This 500 billion, we must look a home for it. And we felt we could complement the government effort of building back our businesses, supporting, stimulating our businesses through credit.
Alanauko, Prime Edition.
Now, plans to tap the Baringo Silali geothermal energy are on course, with the first phase of the project expected to generate 100 megawatts. Stephen Kagongo, geothermal development company drilling engineer, says the company has so far struck 26 megawatts of steam energy in Paka and Korosi areas. In 2018, the geothermal development company GDC received a 1.9 billion shillings grant for its Baringo Silali geothermal project in Western Kenya. The funds from Geothermal Risk Mitigation Facility is meant to facilitate and accelerate geothermal development in Eastern Africa. The Baringo Silali block has an estimated potential of 3,000 megawatts, which is being developed in phases. Stephen Kagongo, company's drilling engineer, says the first phase is expected to generate 100 megawatts from the Paka, Korosi and Silali prospects. So far, the company has successfully drilled 7 out of 10 wells in Paka and Korosi project areas.
We have only started drilling the two projects, that is Korosi. Korosi we have done 3 wells. And Paka here we have done 4 wells, and we are currently drilling the 5th and the 6th well.
Kagongo further says 3 of the wells drilled are producing a total of 26 megawatts, with one of the wells producing as high as 17 megawatts of steam energy.
If we are successful the way we are with this well of 17 megawatts, we will need about 10 wells. Then we have achieved the 100 megawatts.
Once the drilling is complete, designing and construction of a power plant will begin.
Probably in the next 2 or 3 years, we should be we'll have completed drilling. Then now we'll be able to design the power plant.
Well, and that is how we wrap up business news for tonight. But you can find this and more stories on our website, www.kbc.co.ke. My name is Carol Jenga. I leave you now with the Forex Market Report. See you tomorrow.
Machozi yako ya mamba mimi hayanihurumishi hata kidogo.
Nakuuliza swali, umetoka wapi?
Mimi si mtoto mdogo. Mbona haujamrudisha Lea kwenye mwili wake?
Mtu anapumzika kishiba. Wewe uko hapa wagaga na njaa. What for?
Hujui ile hali nilopata na babangu.
We take it on at the right time.
Honorable Musalia Mudavadi.
The Honorable Mutahi Kagwe.
Chief Justice Martha Karambuko.
This is KBC, the voice of Kenya.
Asking the right questions.
I don't know how it made you feel as speaker who is presiding over a house where members can be compromised with 10,000 shillings.
We keep our guests comfortable. A mission to ensure our audience gets a complete story.
For a few hours or so, I thought this is it. My end has come.
If really we want an end of this pandemic, we must fight.
Our goal, to tell it as it is for the benefit of our viewer.
And I'm sure we will have good discussions.
All right.
That will make probably your viewers understand KDF better.
With 21 radio outlets.
During a live interview on KBC TV, Chief of Defense Forces General Robert Kibosha.
Jaji mkuu kwa mara ya kwanza katika mahojiano yake ya kipekee na runinga ya KBC Channel 1.
And 2 TV stations covering over 90% of the entire country. The message always gets home. KBC, the home of on-air TV interviews.
Good evening. This is KBC Sports with me, Richard Munga. Now, Football Kenya Federation Chief Executive Officer Barry Otieno has called on the Ministry of Sports to ensure that they give credible and honest findings after completion of the ongoing audit. Speaking at the FKF offices, Otieno stated that all the information that they have presented is factual and authentic.
It was the second day at the country's Football Federation headquarters, where inspectors arrived to continue their duties of carrying out an audit in the offices after a directive by the Ministry of Sports due to allegations of misappropriation of funds in the Federation. The operation took about 4 hours to complete, and after leaving, we got an opportunity to speak to the FKF CEO, Barry Otieno.
We've done our part, we'll continue to do our part. Even after this, just for the record and for every Kenyan to know, is that consistently and as required by the 2013 Sports Act is normally we have done budgets to government in good time. For all the monies that we have been funded, then we have filed returns.
Otieno urged the sports ministry to ensure that they provide reliable and accurate results after the completion of the audit, and added a quick conclusion would save football in the country, since Kenya is at a risk of being banned by FIFA.
I do not think that it's in the interest of the government or the minister to have Kenya banned. I want to believe that this inspection was directed with utmost good faith, with an objective to improve in certain areas, if any. Having said that, FIFA are also clear on third-party interference.
Barry stated that they have already submitted all the documents required by the Ministry of Sports, and all the information is true and honest. The Federation is currently waiting for tomorrow to know the direction the Sports Ministry will take. Daniel Mwendwa, Sports.
It will be quite interesting to see how that turns out. All the football fans, of course, awaiting the outcome of that audit, and be sure that KBC, your sports partner, shall be keeping you up to date with all the latest in regards to that. To other matters now, the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, NOC, held a successful extraordinary session of the General Assembly today. The meeting held in Nairobi was called for a consultative meeting between the federations and the appointment of the NOC Electoral Board that shall conduct the NOC elections. The second and emergency extraordinary General Assembly was aimed at informing the members of the status of the upcoming electoral process. The appointment of the new board has hit a snag, with the Independent Electoral Commission (IEBC) currently engaged in the ongoing voter registration exercise ahead of the 2022 general elections.
What we really need is that as we are changing the narrative, that every now and then, when every election which it comes, should not be a cutthroat, should be a way of trying to, once it's done, we move together as a team. So in fact, as we are closing here today, as we move forward in terms of campaigning and all that, let us do it in a more civil way, so that we can be able, we are all friends and we are all leaders also on our own way.
As a result, members of the General Assembly have agreed on the Center for Corporate Governance, seconded by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, to conduct the elections.
To propose to this General Assembly the Center for Corporate Governance that affects the elections of the NOC elections scheduled for tentatively 25th, but as you have earlier said, we allow for the Kamkunji, which probably will be on 5th, which can be able to set that date according to the schedule of the Electoral Congress, and therefore wish to present that for ratification to the General Assembly.
A second meeting will be set to agree on the date of the elections within the month of November. The federations were largely represented by their presidents and secretary generals, as well as representatives appointed by the respective federations. The current NOC executive members were also in attendance at the assembly. Also, Harambee Stars tactician Engin Firat has named a provisional 27-man squad ahead of the upcoming 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Uganda Cranes and the Amavubi of Rwanda.
Firat has handed a debut call-ups for Belgian-based Wilkins Ocheng and Nairobi City star Timothy Ouma. Michael Mutinda, Philemon Otieno, Antonio Kumo and Eric Johanna have made a comeback to the Stars squad. Captain Mike Olunga, Masoud Juma and Ismail Dunga will lead Harambee Stars attack line. Stars are scheduled to kick off their residential training on November 6th in Nairobi. Kenya will face Uganda on November 11th at St. Mary's Stadium Kitende before taking on Rwanda on November 15th at the Nyayo National Stadium. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Also, two-time Olympic marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge took part in a mass pursuit race on the Champs-Élysées, a special 5-kilometer pursuit race organized by Paris 2024 to mark 1,000 days to go to the Olympic Games in the French capital. Participants set off before Kipchoge and raced on a course across Concorde and the Champs-Élysées. Kipchoge covered a longer distance and had to catch up with the rest of the runners. Organizers of the 2024 Olympic Games plan to hold a mass marathon race on the same day as the Olympic race. More than 1,000 people out of more than 3,600 who took part finished ahead of Kipchoge and were rewarded with a spot in the mass public race on the same course as the Olympic marathon race at the Olympic Games in Paris 2024. And to Mombasa now, whereby 38 county assemblies have converged in Mombasa County for the third edition of the annual County Assembly Sports Association KASA Games. The week-long event is aimed to promote unity, cohesion and diversity as participants battle out to clinch football and volleyball championships. As Junaika Risa reports, the games have been postponed since 2019 due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Monday morning at the Mombasa Sports Club, Mombasa County Speaker Harub Khatri led a 38 county assemblies procession into the sports ground as the County Assembly Sports Association KASA kicked off their week-long games. The third edition coming amid 3 cancellations owing to the regime pandemic since 2019. Participants of the week-long event were forced to produce vaccination certificates before battling it out in the football and volleyball championships. Mombasa Speaker Harub Khatri says the event will promote unity, cohesion and diversity as the groups mingle out, sentiments echoed by the KASA leadership.
This festival aims to express different cultural backgrounds, unique beliefs and tradition belonging to different ethnic groups, and bridge the social and economic divides by building bridges across the cultures and borders for effective partnership.
Mombasa County would later showcase its high and might in the tug of war against Nairobi County. However, the county will tie it out with Kakamega County as the curtain raise for the games. Junaika Risa Mbele from Mombasa County.
Well, that's all the time we have for sports tonight, but be sure to catch up on the updates in regards to the KASA Games, which will be held rather for the next 1 week, this week rather. So that's it for sports. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Mboya and Museo are on the other side of the studio. Have a good night.
And that brings us to the end of Prime Edition this Monday night. But for more news alerts, do log in to our website www.kbc.co.ke. I'm Purity Museo. Susan Thuku has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Good night.
And I'm Mboya from Nairobi, Kenya. Good night.
Beauty College.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725 923 550 Nairobi branch, 0728 087 689 Eldoret branch, 0722 227428 Thika branch, 0725 000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
To get Philippians 1-6 as your skiza tune, dial star 811 star 965 hash.
And I'm certain that God, who began the good work within you, will continue his work until it is finally finished on the day when Jesus Christ returns. Philippians chapter 1, verse 6.
To get Philippians 1-6 as your skiza tune, dial star 811 star 965 hash. Star 811 star 965 hash.
Hayo machozi yako ya mamba mimi hayanihurumishi hata kidogo.
Nakuuliza swali, umetoka wapi?
Mimi si mtoto mdogo. Mbona haujamrudisha Lea kwenye mwili wake?
Mtu anapumzika kishiba. Wewe uko hapa wagaga na njaa. What for?
Hujui ile hali nilopata na babangu.
This document shows that your son Vicente owed money to Mr. Santos. And it states that if he didn't pay the debt, he would give up the ranch. I don't remember when Constanza was born. I don't remember her. I need to know if she's Victoriana's first wife.
I'd prefer it if you find out and reach your own conclusions about that.
Diana. Mom doesn't even know me. She doesn't even remember me.
What it does, good people of the 254 and beyond. How you doing? It is a brand new month and we are coming to a close of the year 2021. So you should be winding up on your resolutions. Right about now, we are about to make merry as I let you know everything that happened over the weekend, the events that went down, what has been trending, plus so much more. My name is Vivian Dago. You can call me Miss V. Let's get this show on the road. You know what this right here is? Grapevine. What you gotta do. Now, last week we got to attend a beautiful event at the Alliance Francais dubbed Mashujaa Love Concert. Now, at this particular concert, we had the legends performing. Giuliani was part of them, as well as the Haya hitmaker. Haya, Haya, Haya. Eric Wainaina. Let's check it out.
As Kenyans congregated various spots to celebrate Mashujaa, Defenders Coalition event was held at the Alliance Francais Nairobi as rather an obvious choice for some. The show was based on a simple yet effective script, arts and music extravaganza. Quite notable was the performers' lineup, and especially how they have become a permanent part of Kenya's post-independence history.
I think for me, the people we are celebrating today are the people who have fought for the freedoms of this country and made us enjoy what we enjoy today. Yeah, we're celebrating a lot of liberties and a lot of freedoms that people died for, and we can't let that be forgotten.
Years after he reigned, Julius Owino, aka Giuliani, hasn't lost his shine yet.